have a major problem, and it's Disney Plus rebooting the Mighty Ducks, and they're it's just
Are you gonna cry?
a little bit. I think I really am. I'm kind of upset. Actually, I'm very upset. I love the Mighty Ducks. It is, I think, probably one of the greatest sports trilogies we've ever had. And that's not saying much because it may be the only sports trilogy we have. They're fun. They're awesome. They teach you. They're like Rocky for kids a little bit. Anyways, so this new reboot, Disney Plus says it will follow a kid who is kicked off the Mighty Ducks, and then him and his mom go rogue. They form their own hockey team, and that's it. And I say to that, no, thank you.
To be young, full of life, and so stupid. A year and a half ago, I made a video for the Getting Real channel about the Mighty Ducks reboot that Disney Plus had announced. And I know I probably didn't take that news too well. I probably pitched a pitch perfect idea that I will stand behind 100%. But we've had a whole year and a half to think, to reflect, to become better people, and we've had 10 weeks to watch this new Mighty Ducks series that premiered a few months ago. And you know what? Is it good? It's not bad. If I had to write a letter to myself back in November of 2019, I'd probably say something about, being safe, stocking up on toilet paper, uh, get better at zooming and doing reviews by yourself, and don't discount the Mighty Ducks reboot that we were getting, that was coming. That saying, listen, keep the faith. It's gonna be okay. Like you love Mighty Ducks, and the creators of this show obviously love it too. Initially, I was thinking, great, they just didn't have an idea. So here you go. Like this is Mighty Ducks. Mighty Ducks is a spirit. It's the spirit of the Ducks. I should have just waited. I should have just thought, you know what, give it time. We'll find out more. Maybe this will be okay. And that's what happened. I was like, oh, okay. Emilio's back. Hopefully not just for a paycheck. Maybe it's real. Then the trailer started to come out, and I was like, okay, okay. I can I can get behind this a little bit, and I'll just give it a try. Really, it's a great show for kids. And it's a great show for people who were fans of the Mighty Ducks. Yes, there are cheesy moments in this. There are a lot of like teen angsty drama, a little bit. Not as bad as like Cobra Kai, but more cringier than Cobra Kai. Like the Mighty Ducks with some Cobra Kai mixed with like a Disney Channel original show, kind of all blended together. It feels natural, and that's I think was going to be my biggest concern. They were going to force this, and it was gonna feel like, yeah, Mighty Ducks, but also like, like, almost like almost looking back, I'm like, oh, they were going to spiral the Book of Saldus, where it's like, yeah, like Mighty Ducks happened, but this is something different, and it's not that. This is 100% like the like blood relative of the Mighty Ducks, the original Mighty Ducks. Those kids at least knew about hockey. They may not have been the best team, but they knew how to skate. They knew the rules of the game, and they had some kind of inkling of what hockey was, and so it made it a little bit believable that Bombay could take this group of kids and kind of make them a great hockey team. This is not the case for that. This is like one, and then like another kid who are good at hockey, another kid who knows hockey, and then the rest of them are like kids who have never watched hockey. There's one kid in this. There's one kid in this, and they kind of deal with it later on in the series. There's one kid who can't even skate, and they're on the team. When you got 10 episodes that you got to fill, things like that happen. You got filler, you got things that don't make sense, or things that are brought up but then are brought back up, and yeah, that's just the nature of a series like this. This show does such a great job of honoring the legacy of the Ducks. but without like hitting you over the head with it. Like Bombay is this kind of legend who, Minnesota Miracle Man, who, no one's heard of. And it's not like he's just kind of riding that wave of what he did before. He is washed up. He is like hurt by hockey a little bit and by the people who play it. He's hurt by the Ducks, the new Ducks, and he just wants nothing to do with it. I wonder if there's something else that they're going to do in the second season, if this gets a second season, uh, with why he hates hockey or why he started to hate hockey again. Really, it boils down to he was a coach. He was trying to recruit a kid. The kid didn't have a lot of money, and he like gave him some tape for his stick. And you're like, and he was kicked out for that. He was fired and like banned from competing again. And you're like, that seems so small, especially like in today's world. Like that, like I feel like that could have just been explained away. I really enjoyed how they kind of crafted this news story in this world of Mighty Ducks. It's they could have so easily, been like just beat by beat the same thing, but they didn't. And you got it. And at first, I was kind of taken aback that they weren't going to be the Mighty Ducks, but then you start to realize what they're doing, and you're like, okay, okay, I trust them. Okay, not a huge fan of some things, but that's okay. Let's see where it goes. I love Bombay. Like you just see Emilio come back, and you're like, oh, from the get go, like you are you are in it with him, and it is so good to see him back. The kids, they're not bad. There's some really funny ones. There's some ones that don't get as much play as the others. You don't like that will be cool to see kind of how they grow in the second season. There's some great moments of friendship. It's just a great, and they have a great message for kids. Like, listen, we're going to do this for fun. We're making new friends. Isn't life great? It's hard, but isn't it great when you get people by your side? All right, the big thing, the Ducks legacy. And at first, you're like, man, they are really like dogging on the Ducks just because they're like this new team is so awful. And the new coach, who is played brilliantly by this actor, he's just you hate him, and he's like the best like annoying villain. You're like, oh, this dude is the absolute worst. But every time he came on screen, I was excited to see what he was gonna say or do. No one would like this dude. How is he coaching the Ducks? They could have so easily had Bombay roll out in his original Ducks jersey, being like, all right, let's coach this team, but they didn't. It's really not even until like episode 6 or 7. I think episode 6 is a reunion episode, and that is all about like OG Mighty Ducks. They're invited back for this kind of reunion ceremony that the new Mighty Ducks are throwing. Bombay is not invited for some reason. And you have this kind of, it's really nice. You got like Guy and Connie and Kenny and Bolton and Adam Banks and Averman. They all come back, and you just see that they're not like star hockey players, but they're just doing good things in their community, and that's all because of Bombay. The first like 4 or 5 episodes, it's really that setup, and then when you get to 6, when they all reunite, like it's like okay, things are starting to come together. That's even when like they get better at hockey a little bit. They get better at like skating, which is fine. It's fine. They hit you hard with the reunion, and then they start to kind of feed it to you, and they're like, hey, trust us. Hey, if you're a fan of the Mighty Ducks, don't worry. Like we're entertaining your kids, but don't worry. Like we're getting to you. Don't stop. Just hang on. And like seriously, from like episode 6 on, I was like geared, and I was like, yes, yes, yes. I don't want to give all of it away, but you're like, oh my gosh, as a Mighty Ducks fan, you're like, oh yes, oh they're gonna do this. Oh, like I tell people like I was watching it with my wife, and something would happen, and I'd be like, oh, the the name, and they're like, oh, the jersey, like the flying V, like oh my god, like, and all of this makes no sense if you haven't seen it. This show, it it really turned me around. I know, as much as I would love to see my kind of idea come to life, this is what needed to happen. This is the best thing that we could have gotten. Yes, it's very cheesy, but so are the originals. Yes, it's probably not targeted for me until like the real Doug stuff comes back in. But man, like I just found myself week to week ready for it. I'm like, oh, Mighty Ducks is on. We gotta watch it. And that sounds so stupid to me coming from like a 30-year-old. But again, I love it and it brought me joy. And I think that's the whole thing. If I'm gonna wrap it all up with a bow, like whether it's Star Wars or Marvel or DC or Mission Impossible or Men in Black or Fast and the Furious, it doesn't matter. I don't care. It can be anything. If you love it, if you love what they're doing, then that's okay. If it brings you joy, then good on it. Show your kids the originals, show them this show because they'll love it. And then, and just enjoy it. Enjoy seeing something that you loved as a kid being reintroduced for the younger generation. Because let's be real, in 15, 20 years, yeah, people may still be talking about the original Mighty Ducks, but they're going to be talking about this more. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Getting a, getting a phone call. Hello? Oh, this is me from the past. Yeah, hey, stop being so dumb. Love you.